Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. Hope you had a great week. In this week's Parsha, we have a double Parsha, Tzariah Metzora. So at the beginning of Parshas Tzariah, the Torah says that if a person will have on his body a tzara'as, a sapachas, or a beheris, which are the names of three different types of afflictions, and they're all whitish spots, they're all white in nature, whether it's a hair, whether it's a spot itself. If they're white, the person was considered impure. He would have to go to the Kohen, and there would be this entire purification process that the person would have to undergo. And the question I want to share with you is, why is it that when Hashem chose how this impurity should manifest itself, it was by white spots? Really, we would think, like the Torah calls him Adam. Adam is a person who comes from the ground. And if anything, if you're being like low dirt, we should have black spots coming onto his body. White spots is usually a sign, white in general is a sign of purity. So why, when he's becoming impure, is he being shown white spots? Really they should have been showing him black spots. And I believe that the answer is that the Torah could have focused and said, you are a dark person, you are a black person, you are a dirt person, you are who you stand for, where you came from, which is from the dirt. And instead, the Torah that's not the focus. When we're telling somebody that he's impure, we're letting the person know that they are impure by showing them white. You are white. White means you are impure. Why is that the lesson of impurity? The reason that's the lesson of impurity is that the Torah is trying to tell him, be who you really are. You really are this pure soul that you have inside of you. Instead of focusing on the negative, the Torah chooses to focus on the positive. You might sin. You might speak lashon hara. You might speak evilly about somebody. You might have a tzara'as. You might look at people with a bad eye. But Hashem is trying to remind you and send you signs who you really are. Sometimes you'll see a really good kid or a really good person start going on the bad track, and his parents will tell them, "This isn't who you are. You're better than this." That means the parents know who the person really is, and they're slightly going off. And so the parent is trying to tell them, "This isn't who you are. You have to better yourself." And so therefore the Torah is doing the same thing over here, showing you a white appearance as a reminder, this is who you are. One other idea I want to share with you on the Parsha, the Torah also says that if Hashem wants to give somebody a sign, so an affliction will either appear on the wall of a person's house or in their clothing, and if the person doesn't get that message, then it appears on the body itself. And a lot of people's view is, hey, look, there's something wrong with my wall, something's growing on it. There's nothing wrong with the wall, there's something wrong with you. Your soul is like a projection. Remember the old projection screen? It would be this little video set up, and it would need something to project it. Or sometimes people pull down the curtain or the screen, and the image projects itself onto a screen. Or really, that's what a television is. There's something on the inside, and the image gets projected onto the screen. When there's a bad picture on the screen, there's nothing wrong with the glass or the screen or the wall where the projection is being used. There's something wrong with the internal mechanism of the person. So the wall here also, there's nothing wrong with the wall. There's something wrong with you. Hashem is just allowing you to see what's wrong with your soul by first projecting it onto the wall. And hopefully you've got that message. If not, Hashem's going to bring the projection screen even closer onto your body and onto your clothing, and then eventually onto your body. There's nothing wrong with the wall. There's something wrong with you. We always look at, there's something wrong with that. No, there's something wrong over here. It's an internal problem, not an external problem. Like people a lot of times will find a problem with their mezuzah, and because of different problems that they're having in their home. Oh, there's something wrong with this. Oh, let me check my mezuzah. Why? Because, if there's something wrong with the mezuzah, that's why I had the plumbing problem, or that's why I had this problem. No, the answer is nothing wrong with the mezuzah. The mezuzah itself is also manifesting a message to you that there's really something wrong with you. You got to check yourself out. One time I remember a girl told me she was in a lot of trouble. She was in a car accident, everything's were having. She wanted to change her name. I said, there's nothing really wrong with your name. There's something really wrong with you. If you fix yourself in a specific area, then Hashem will help take care of you. So we have to realize these are all messages that Hashem is saying to us. Be better and be who you really are. You're a pure person. You're not a bad person. But you got to come back to your roots. And you got to come back to that purity that you have inside you. That is what Hashem is waiting for. Go to the Chacham. Go to the Torah sage. They will teach you how to do that. Have a great Shabbos. Thank you for listening.